needed it. He was still young in the faith and was going through some things, and they spared his life in multiple ways. And so we focus on that importance of what the body of Christ is meant to be. We're meant to stick together. We are meant to sharpen one another. We're to watch out for one another. We're to pour into one another, pray for one another. And it's important that we stay and remain connected to God and to one another. It's what he wants us to be as the body. Well, today, I'm going to ask you this question to get started. Have you ever played that game, telephone? Where there's a big group of people and one person whispers something into the first person's ear, and then it goes around the circle or down the line, and then you kind of see what people kind of heard or misheard and stuff. So maybe the first person whispered, "I love Philly cheesesteak sandwiches," and by the time it makes it to the end, it's something like, "I'm old and my knees ache from standing." Sound about right? Well, today we're going to see God speaking to two different people in two different worlds and two different lives in two different places. But unlike our botched games of telephone, God got his message through loud and clear. The purpose with which he revealed himself to those two men leading those different lives was going to be the first of many amazing things that God did in this regard. Just this last week, we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day. He, of course, is known and remembered for his boldness and bravery to stand up not just for himself, but many, many, many lives who were judged harshly for the color of their skin. Now, with what we're going to read today, it's not necessarily step for step the same as what Dr. King fought against. But what we still see was here there was very segregated lives between the Gentiles and the Jews, and how God wanted to bring that together for his kingdom purposes. We're going to discuss how God broke those dividing lines and those boundaries and brought them together, not just socially, but in equality, because God made it known that through this that his salvation was made possible for all, not just for some, but for all who believed. So let's go ahead and read Acts 10, verses 1 through 23, and then we'll pray and get started. It says, "Now there was a man in Caesarea